story about childhood. It is a story about something that was born. And it was so precious that the writer reminded that the writer wanted to recollect the memory of his childhood. How was his childhood when he was child? Let's see the author or a writer's introduction. The legend is written by Einstein. Einstein was born in 1964 in Rockaway and spent her childhood since adolescence in Hyderabad. It means in India. She received her education in Hyderabad and in the United States of America. It means her primary education was in Hyderabad and then for the upper education she went at the America. Her parents were both writers and his son began her career as a writer in India. She started her career as a writer in India only. When she returned to India, she started her career as a writer. She has been an editor, columnist for major newspapers in India and abroad. She was not a columnist, not only columnist in India but also in abroad. She writes columns, she writes many articles in the newspaper and authored several books. The following is an extract from the book titled Lost Spring, Stories of Stolen Childhood. Here, she writes a story about stolen childhood. How was her childhood when she was young? Here she analyzes the grinding poverty and traditions which condemn these children to life of exploitation. Let's start a lesson. Sometimes I find a rupee in the garbage. The first scene that she described in this lesson was, "Why do you do this?" I asked Sahib, whom I encounter every morning, scrounging from bird in the garbage dumps of my neighborhood. She asked the Sahib that, "Why do you do this?" Every morning scrounging in the bird in the garbage dumps. Actually, the Sahib cleaned the garbage dump every morning and she asked the Sahib that, "Why are you doing this?" Sahib left his home long ago. Step amidst the green field of Dhaka. What is the location? The location was green field of Dhaka, and at that place, she was in the garbage dump. His home is not even the distant valley. There is no distance between his home and the Dhaka. There were many storms that swept away their field and homes. Here, storm it doesn't mean the natural storms, but many ups and downs come into her life that her family, her house are going ups and down from many suffering. There are many storms that swept away their field and home. His mother tells me that's why they left, looking for God in a big city where he now lives. The Sahib, who lived neighboring of them, they left their house because there are strong means some downs come in their family, and they left their field, left their home, and started to live in a city, and now they settled there. I have nothing else to do. She mutters. He mutters. Mutters it means speaking very slowly, speaking very briskly. Looking up, go to school, I say deeply, realizing immediately how hollow the advice must sound. understand how hollow his voice is. There is no hardness in his voice, there is no sweetness in his voice. The hollow voice. And the hollow voice only comes at that time when there is nothing to say, when there is nothing into mind. The mind is so clean at that time the hollow voice is there. A very upset sound. There is no school in my neighborhood. When they build one, I will go. When they asked him that, come to school with me, he answered that there is no school in my nearby. The schools are so far from my house that when they build, it means when the government build a school nearby my house, then I will go there. If I start the school, will you come? I asked, half jokingly. At that time, he asked him that if I started the school, will you come with me? Yes, he said. Smilingly, broadly. He answered me with smile that yes, I will come with you if you started the school nearby your house. A few days later, I see him running up to me. Is your school ready? When, after some time, when she was playing around her home, he came to him and asked him that, is your school ready? Now I can come with you to the school? It takes a longer to build a school, I said. I answered him that it takes a long time. It is not a toy, a school that I can make it with a clay or I can make with a cardboard. It takes time. Embraced it, having made a promise that was not made. I want to tell him that, and I want to make a promise to him that it was not made. But promises like mine, about in every corner of his blank world. Actually, his world was so blank that he cannot see anything. And my promises are doesn't matter for him because he was so empty by his heart, he was so upset with his eyes that once I got a single word that I make a school, will you come with me? He take it touching me. And he asked me again that is your school built? It means the promises are meant for him. After months of knowing him, I asked him his name. In a very first meeting, I didn't ask his name. After a long time when we meet, then I asked his name, Sahib Alam. What is his name? Sahib Alam. He announced. He does not know what it means. If he knew its meaning, Lord of the universe, he would have a hard time believing it. Unaware of what his name represents, he roams the street with his friend. An army of barefoot boys who appear like morning birds and disappear at noontime. Over the months, I have come to recognize each of them. At that time, he roams the street with his friend. Roam, it means wander. To go out. Without purpose. Birds have disappeared at noon. Over the months, I have come to recognize each of them. An army of barefoot, it means he doesn't wear any kind of footprint, chappals, shoes, anything he doesn't wear, barefoot. Boys who appear like a morning birds and disappear at noon. They come as a morning bird. At the morning time when the birds are coming from the nest, they are in group. But when they departed, they were alone. And they disappear at noon also. Over the months, I have come to recognize each of them. Why aren't you wearing chappals? I asked him. One of the morning, I asked him that why aren't you wearing chappal? My mother didn't bring them down from the shelf. He answered simply. At that time, he simply answered that my mother didn't give it me. That's why I am not wearing it. Even if she did, he will throw them off at some another, the boy who is with him. At that time, he answered that if his mother gave him chappal, he would throw it. Who is wearing shoes that do not match? When I comment on it, he suffers his feet and says nothing. I want shoes. Say a third boy, the third boy, said that, interpreted that I want shoes. I don't want to wear chappal. Who has never owned a pair of his life? A boy said this line. A boy has never paid. He wore the chappals differently in both foot. He said that I want shoes. It was amazing. Traveling across the country, I have seen children walking barefoot in cities, on village roads. It is not lack of money, but tradition to stay barefoot. Wherever the writer went out in the foreign country, abroad, when she saw that the many of people are with barefoot and they are wondering, they are bound with the barefoot, it was not for their poverty, but it was for them, it was a fashion for them, it was a tradition for them. Is one explanation. I wonder if this is only an excuse to explain away perpetual state of poverty. In India, it was because of their poverty only that the person did not wear the shoes. I remember a story of a man of Udit once told me. As a young boy, he would go to school past an old temple, where his father was a priest in a temple. He would stop briefly at the temple and pray for a pair of shoes. At that time, when the children asked for the world many kind of chocolates, ladus, sweets, toys, at that time the child asked to go for shoes. Which was this year's later I visited town and temple, which was now drawn in the air of desolation. In the backyard, where lived the new priest. There were red, white, plastic chairs. A young boy dressed in a grey uniform, wearing swords and shoes, arrived panting and threw his school bag in a folding bag. A schoolboy coming into the house, we throw the bag, we wore a proper uniform, wore shoes. Looking at the boy, I remembered the prayer another boy had made to the goddesses when he had finally got a pair of shoes. Let me never lose them. The goddesses had granted his prayer. Young boys like the son of priest now wore shoes. But many others like the red picker in my neighborhood remain useless. Many people, many boys, many children who are red picker actually. A person who collects garbage from the society or not are called red pickers. Who remains useless, who has no shoes, who has no proper cloth. We remain this nation today only that the next